Okay, so we are going to draw a nameplate. So it's going to come out looking like this when you first open up a new document. And we're going to click on our navigation block for the top so that we're looking at the top of the top plane. You're going to come up and start a sketch up at the top left. And we're going to select the top plane for your sketch. Now, personally, I like to get rid of all the planes after that. So we hit P, remember P for plane, toggles it off and on. Then we're going to start our drawing. Last time when we did the base plate, we did a center rectangle. Now we're going to use a corner rectangle. So we're going to come up here, select the corner rectangle. We're going to click our point of origin, drag up and click again. Doesn't matter the size right now because we're about to dimension it. Okay, I'm going to hit this top again to get us centered, and I'm going to now go to my dimension tool, or you could just hit the D shortcut key. And we're going to go click the bottom and drag down, click again, and we're going to make this 12 inches long. So put 12, enter. And it's going to be really big now. You're going to have to zoom out a bit. And we want to make this 12 by 4. So we're still in our dimension tool. We're going to click the left wall, drag it to the side, click again, and enter 4, enter. All right, now we have our plate defined. Next thing we're going to do is go and put some text in. So up here in the top, almost the center, is this A. That is your text tool. We're going to click on that. And then you're going to drag a text box right there in the center of your plate. And you can put in some kind of, put your name, anything school appropriate in there. I'm going to put in there Linden Ag. Let's do that. And I'm going to do green check. And now it shows up in there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I want to make this text box 10 inches long. So I'm going back to my dimension tool. I'm going to click on the top. I'm going to drag it up and I'm going to put in 10. Hit enter. Now it is 10 inches long. Okay, I want to center this left to right. So 12 inches minus 10 inches is 2 inches. So I want to have half of 2 inches is 1 inch. So I want 1 inch on each side of my text box. Still in the dimension, I'm going to click on the left wall of the text box, drag over and click on the left wall of our plate. Click again, and I'm going to put in 1, hit enter. Okay, now we have that centered left to right. Next way, we're going to go over to the right wall of your text box. We're going to click on it. We're going to drag to the right. And we are going to just hit enter. We don't want to put in any kind of number. Just leave it default, and it's going to turn gray. If you did put a number in there, change that number. It's going to turn red and say it's unable to solve the sketch, and you're going to have to hit the undo button and go back. All we want here is to find out what that number is, how tall that is. And it's going to be different for everyone depending on what text you put in. Okay, so now comes the math. So I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to figure this out. We've got a height of 4. So we got 4. And we're going to subtract the height of our text from that. So in my case, that's 4 minus 1.547 gives me 2.453. And that's how much space we have above and below combined. But we want to know just one of those. So we're going to divide that by 2. So divide it by 2. Gives me 1.2265. I'm just going to round that to 2 decimals, so 1.23. So once again, we took 4, which is our total height, subtracted the height of our text box from that, and then divided that by 2. And so for me, my drawing, that is 1.23. So I'm going to go, we're still in our dimension tool, click the top of our text box, click the top of our plate, 1.23, enter. Okay, now my lettering is centered top to bottom. Okay, coming back from being butt dialed, we are going to go and add circles. So we're coming up to our center point circles. And we're going to draw one right here on the top left. Okay, Then we're going to hover over the center of it. So the center lights up, and we're going to drag across our drawing here. Make sure that you have that yellow dotted line there. If I get off of that dotted line, it disappears. But if I come back, it reappears again. So make sure you have that yellow dotted line lit up and make another circle. Okay, now I'm going to light up the center of that circle again, hovering. Remember, we're not clicking, just hovering. And I'm going to come down and make a third circle. Whoops. Okay. And I'm going to light up the center of that circle again. I'm going to drag over to my left till I'm under the first circle. And you'll note that I have that line lit up coming down from the top left corner and coming from the bottom right corner. So you want to make sure you have both of those lines lit up, and you're going to make yourself another circle, right? Like that. Okay. So now I have 4 circles. Then we're going to go up and grab our equals tool. Our drop down, it is the center, roughly in the center of the menu, equals, or you could just hit the E key for a shortcut. And we're going to click the outside of the first circle, then the outside of the second circle. And we'll do the outside of the second circle, and the outside of the third circle. And we're going to do the outside of the third circle and the outside of the fourth circle. So now they have all been made so that they are the same size. They're equal to each other. We're going to go to our dimension tool again. We're going to click that outer circle, drag down, and we're going to make these 0.2. Enter. So as you see, it should have resized all of your circles, all of your holes. And those are basically going to be like screw holes to screw this plate to a wall. Okay, next thing, we got to tell this how far we want the circles from, or our holes from the wall. And we're going to make those 1/2 inch. So we're still in dimension tool. You're going to click the center point of the circle. It's really important, the center point, not the outer edge. So click the center point and then click the side of your wall. And click again. We'll make that 0.5, enter. And we're going to do the same thing top to bottom. We're going to go center of the circle, click on our top wall, click again, and enter 0.5. Okay. So now that's done. We're going to come over here. We have to tell it how far we want our holes from the right side as well. The top should already be done because we tied them together. So we're going to click the center of the circle here and our right wall. Click again, 0.5, enter. Okay, and the last one, you can see these are still blue. Anytime it's blue, it's undefined. You have to give it a definition. We're going to click that center point. Click the bottom wall, make it 0.5, enter. Now I'm going to zoom out and look at it. Everything is black, which is good because everything is defined. Nothing's red, meaning that I've got no problems with any conflicting constraints, and nothing's blue, which, as I said, means it's all defined. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put a radius on our corners. So we come up here to our sketch fillet tool. It's next to the scissors, just to the left of the scissors up there on the toolbar. You're going to click on that. Then you're going to go around and you're going to click each of the corners. Now, I did the same drawing earlier today, so it remembers the dimensions I put in, and it defaulted to that. But in case you have a different dimension there, it may look differently than it did when I clicked. Okay, now you can see that my mouse, as I hover it out in the open area, the cursor shows like a diagram of a mouse with a green check next to it. That means you can click somewhere out here. Just click, and now it gives you a dialog box to put in your dimension of the radius. And we're going to make that 0.5 as well. 0.5, hit the enter key, and now your base plate should look like this. You are done with the sketch part. Now we have to extrude it, make it 3-dimensional. So we're going to click our green check to complete our sketch. And we're going to go up to the extrude tool, which is up here right next to the sketch button, just to the right of it. And so we click on that. Okay, so it's set up right, it's new. We're going to select all the faces we want to extrude, which is going to be everything except for our circles in the corners. So I'm going to click on my plate like that, and it turns color. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to click now on the inside of all of my letters. It's really important not to click on the lines. If you click on the lines, it's going to undo everything that you've selected, and you have to reselect everything. So I've got my inside of my letters I'm selecting, got one more letter here. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so now I've selected everything. I want to change the direction. See, I'm going to roll this. You don't need to roll it, but if I roll it over to the side, you can see this arrow here that's pointing out. I don't want that arrow pointing out. I want it pointing in. So I'm going to reverse the opposite direction of the extrusion. So this arrow here, click it. So it should be pointing to the right, and your plate should be going to the rear of your drawing. Then let's change this to 1/2 inch, 0.5. And green check. So if we go back and look at it from the top, it looks like we just have a solid plate. Your letters disappeared. So we need to turn the sketch back on. If you hover over sketch 1 in your left menu, you're going to see this eyeball. So you're going to click on that eyeball. Okay. And now you can see your sketch again. So now we're going to do another extrude. So we go to extrude again. So this will be extrude 2. And we're going to go to remove. See where it says remove here on the top, or kind of in that center top area. So we're going to click remove. And let's make this 0.25 inches, 0.25. Okay, and the arrow should be facing the same way going down. Okay, or going to the right. So we're going to go, and I'm going to start clicking, clicking, clicking. I'm clicking the inside of all of my letters here. If I've got something like this D, I'm not going to click that island in there. Same with the E, I'm not going to click the island. Just clicking the letters themselves. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. I've got the N. I'm going to click the A. I'm going to click the G here. I'm going to click, and we're almost done. Oh, I accidentally clicked the line on there, and so it unselected everything I did. So I have to go back and reselect it. That's why I was telling you guys you have to be careful there. I did it again. That's the reason I zoom in so close here. It's a little finicky on this step. Just make sure that you don't click outside, click the line. There we go. Move this over. Zoom in. Click. Yeah, we're making it here. Making it happen. Click again. Click the I. I'm going to click my dot and my L. Okay. You don't have to do this, what I'm about to do, but if we go and turn it over to the edge a little bit, you can see that the arrow is still pointing down. We want it pointing the same direction that we did before. So we're going to go green check. And so now you have a nameplate that has been engraved. You can see that you've got your plate, which should be 1/2 inch thick, and you've got your lettering, which goes down 1/2 thickness or 1/4 inch, and your hole should go all the way through the plate. Okay, so that is how you draw the nameplate. If you have any questions, send me a message or leave a comment, and I'll do my best to answer it. Take care. Thanks for watching.